On the 24th day of our Japanese tour, October 2018, we visited the final city of Fukuoka, just north of Nagasaki on this map. We travelled from Nagasaki to Fukuoka on the JR fast train, a lovely ride, reaching speeds of 140. Once we settled in at our hotel, we went for a short walk to Fukuoka Castle ruins across the river from the hotel, and if you pause this you get an idea of the size of the place on the Google Maps. Now the ruins at Fukuoka Castle were built in the 17th century by a warlord, of course, and it was during the Edo period, 1600 to 1867, and after the feudal system collapsed in 1870, the castle was nearly all torn down and there's only parts of the ruin left, ruined walls, a few turrets, and the visitors that go to the park go mostly for the walking tracks and athletic tracks. And on the north-eastern side of the park you'll get to go up to the lookouts to look over the city. We went in autumn, and autumn colours were really evident. The area is well marked and plenty of signage to know what you're looking at. Then I get conned into the obligatory portrait photographs. Some would call them selfies. And then we walked from the ruins themselves to the Korakuen Ruins Museum, and that was quite interesting. The museum contains a whole heap of displays of pottery found in the digs of the ruins that they've excavated, and some other interesting stuff as well. I didn't know what these were until I looked it up on the internet. Poo sticks. Now you can imagine sticking this up your rear end. Well, that's not very nice. But anyway. So there's a reconstruction of some of the ruins. You can see in the background an area where you walk around and look at the displays and also the ruins themselves in the centre of the museum. And here's a display of a current dig of pottery and what's left of the pottery. There's a long shot of the building, and there's a display of the reconstruction of that area as well. The Taman Nugur torrent is an area that's been reconstructed, which is in the southwest corner of the ruins park, and the place was closed, so we never got to go in and have a look at the inside of the buildings. Pretty much looked like a stable, but on reading the sign it was the soldiers' barracks. I think that's what it said. So Mazura Park was built around the Fukuoka Castle ruins, and there's the entrance gate. You walk up a slight hill onto a plateau of sorts, and then you walk around the garden area. There was these little horticultural tents for growing small plants, and further on our walk was the baseball field. We got to watch a little bit of a game before they shut down the game. I suppose it was lunchtime. So we continue to walk around the park, and you can see from this photograph the autumn colours were vibrant, and there was still a little bit of a dry area, which surprised me. We walked around the ruined walls and across this footpath, a raised footpath, to the Najima Gate. Najima Gate was what the sign says. It talks about the Najima Castle, which was part of the Fukuoka Castle ruins, but still pretty much standing or rebuilt. And then just beside that was another sporting area, a running track, and behind the tower, or what was left of the tower, was the Tatura River. So once we finished wandering around the Fukuoka Castle ruins, we caught a train to the Canal City, Hakatara, which basically is a city mall, a big shopping centre, and there's the front entrance in the photograph. I usually make a comment about if you've seen one city shopping mall, you've seen them all, but this was quite different. Overlooking one of the canals, I think it was the Tatura River, and also each of the floors, up to the 5th floor I think it was, you could get to look over the entertainment area. Of course you could see down the bottom there was some kind of clown giving a show for all the interested people. On each floor there's a whole huge array of different shops, and the prices for the food was fairly reasonable, still dearer than the street food, but still very reasonable. And we didn't stop for lunch there, but we had a good look around. And you can see there's the walls covered in a garden, and here's one of the clowns or entertainers giving a show, and there's the canal that I was talking about in the bottom of the photograph. The video was produced by myself, and it's the end of another exciting video of our day 24 of our Japanese October 2018 tour of Fukuoka City.